All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know you can hear me. Sound check on 1, 2. How's everybody doing this morning? It is October 23rd, 2019, and we got some earnings coming up here. Already released this morning, getting a little bit of movement there. Scanning a couple names. Um, Boeing being the biggest one that I see so far this morning that's moving. Snapchat's got a ton of volume coming in, but it's really not moving a lot. Caterpillar here moving as well, about 1,909,000 shares traded on that. And Microsoft here, but again, that's just normal volume there, it looks like. So, yeah, right, Mike? Pretty boring overnight session here. Appreciate that, though. Pretty boring overnight session for the S&Ps here. And, realistically, what I'm kind of looking at, a couple things here. So, we had the kind of just massive sell off yesterday, if you will, and it really wasn't all that big. Ends up being like 20 some points, give or take. There, S&P's had a 21.5 point range, but when you really look at the Nasdaq had a 138.5 point range yesterday, which was just an absolute kind of bloodbath in there. Um, with some bigger names gapping up and stuff like that, it felt a little off. We had the bonds gapping up, gold was moving, so it just seemed a little bit off. Today kind of has a little bit of carryover for that. So what I want to do real quickly, I'm going to cover my game plan here for the S&Ps and the Nasdaq in all of about 2 minutes, and then if you guys have symbols you want me to take a look at, feel free to go ahead and fire those into the chat. Currently, the only thing I have on is going to be bonds. I have long bonds right now. I have a little bit of BIIB, IBM, of course, Netflix, and then that small position from yesterday in UPS, which again, that was just a feeler position. And UPS, rallied back on us there and never really gave us an additional setup to add on. So my game plan here for the S&Ps, we have no news announcements coming out here today at all, outside of crude oil inventories at 10:30. So if you're playing crude or watching crude, 10:30 is going to be the time for that one. Otherwise, there's nothing. There's nothing else here on the board. It's pretty light again, um, and we've got decent volume coming in today. 230,000 contracts right now. We've got about a 15-point overnight range here for the S&Ps, but what I'm seeing currently right here is a very wide, choppy, do not trade zone that I'm going to be looking at here. So we've got a level in place here at 29.93 quarters. I'm expecting the open to be very much the same as yesterday, where we just kind of gyrated around there for like the first 3 hours of the morning, and then finally started to actually get something going. So for me, I'm going to let the open do its thing. I would not be surprised if we can get above 29.93 quarters here, to see a move up to 3,003.50. Give or take there. We might get 3,001, 3,002. But what I put in the morning right up there is don't overstay your welcome on the long side here for today in the S&Ps. I like the move to the downside better. I really thought we were going to get a little bit more to the downside in the overnight session. We broke down, traded 29.82s for S&Ps, traded 78.10 quarters there for the Nasdaq. And again, I really thought we were going to get some more, pressure to the downside there, which we just have not gotten yet. So I'm going to keep a close eye on 29.93 quarters here. Most likely not going to do much here for the first 30 minutes or so of the day. In terms of these markets, there's a lot more of earnings coming up here. And again, I think we'll see some very choppy, whippy action in and around this 29.93 quarters here. So that's what I'm watching here for the S&Ps. It is pretty much a do not trade day for me. I like the Nasdaq and I like the Dow best. We've got S&Ps down about 0.08%, Nasdaq up 0.07, Russell here up 0.02, and the Dow up 0.08% here. So again, that's most likely the Dow on the backs of Boeing there, which you can see Boeing is gapping up nicely here this morning. I was really actually looking forward to this continuation to the downside here towards 320s the other day, but did not set that up for us. Anyways, let's take a look at some names that you guys have. Sebastian, throw it in there. BYND. BYND was gapping down this morning. Yeah, 102.80s by 103.02s here. The next support level I have in BYND to the downside here, or at least a target area, is going to be 99.95s. You can see we tagged this level here, 106.09s, pretty much to the tick there, 8 cents push through. Try to get a rally going, and again, we just really couldn't get anything moving there. So the longer we based here, finally broke down. We're back into the hourly downtrend here now with this. And 99.95s would be kind of where I'd look for this thing to move to. After that, it's really kind of up to what the reaction from that does. If we just continue to break down through this level, then we've got some room to go kind of towards like 90. But if this thing, tries to hold 99.95s, starts putting in some price action down in here, acting like it wants to hold, acting like it doesn't want to go lower, then I think we could see a move higher off of BYND. But for right now, 99.95s look to be where it's headed to. And then you were looking at GD as well. GD here, it's got a really wide opening spread so far, 175 by 180, so not quite sure where this is going to open at. I really like the daily in here. I like hourly pullbacks in this. As long as we can hold hourly pullbacks here, again, I don't know specifically where this thing is opening at. The bid ask is like kind of wonky there. Let's see if, yeah, it's only traded 2,200 contracts here this morning. Looks like we have earnings coming up before the bell. They already reported. That's really weird. No volume in this thing with earnings being reported. It's traded 2,200 shares today. Anyways, I like this to the long side as long as you can hold 178.99s. I think this thing will trade like normal today. It doesn't really look like an earnings play to me, at least not yet. AAN, holy cow. That was a swing trade like back here on the gap breakout at like 65s. Let this thing continue to rip and let it go parabolic. And, yeah, let it go parabolic and then look for a short side on this. Aaron's, is this like that furniture, like rental kind of place? I think that's what it is. But yeah, let that thing just continue to rip here. It's new all-time highs. And they got earnings coming up in a few weeks here. But I would not... it's too far extended for me to get long. ALXN. 101s. I like this if it can kind of clear like 101.70s today. Realistically, that's kind of going to be where I think this thing gets interesting here. 101.68s to 102s. If we can kind of clear that, then I like this to the long side. It'll be a change of trend on the daily chart. The hourly chart, obviously, already trying to work back into that. So, yeah, I do like this. Up over 101.68 to 102s. Start paying attention in that area. Set some alerts and see what it does from there. Caterpillar here. A little bit of a gap up in Caterpillar. Nice daily looking pattern going there. Looks like it's got some room to run here. And realistically, I think we could probably, kind of somewhere up over this 134.49. Looks like it should gap up there. Looks like we got some room to kind of fill that gap up there. So I'll keep Caterpillar on watch here today. And I did look at this in pre-market. It was not gapping quite as much. Yeah, I kind of like Caterpillar here. It's got nice room, 138s, and then kind of up closer to 139s, 140s. So Caterpillar has some room to run. I'm going to add that to a chart right here. All right. Yeah, they had earnings this morning. All right, let's take a look at MasterCard here, MA, and then we'll wrap it up here for this morning and get ready to go live for everyone in the MLT Discord for the first hour of trading today. MasterCard got absolutely, that's a word, bamboozled yesterday. Holy cow. Did the rest of the, like, they all got smacked. What's the Discover symbol? AXP is American Express, V is Visa. American Express did not get slaughtered though. Yeah, that's a move and a half. I'm gonna keep this one on watch. I don't quite know what to do with it down here. Its earnings aren't till next week. This thing got smoked though. Yeah, keep this one on watch. I don't know what to do with it specifically at the moment here. But yeah, let's keep this one on watch. We got a little bit more room to go here. I don't think it drops more today. It most likely needs a little bit of a break here. That's a big move. So, anyways, that's what I got for you guys this morning here. The S&P is currently hanging right underneath that 93.25 level here at the do not trade zone. I want to be super picky, super selective today. We got a pretty decent week going so far. And good positions, I think, open right now in IBM and Netflix. Bonds here as well. So going to manage those accordingly and only look to add quality, not quantity on plays here today. We've got a number of other names coming out with earnings here today. And then even more, some of the bigger ones, Amazon and stuff like that, coming out tomorrow as well. So trying to be patient for all of that. But thank you guys so much for coming on and hanging out with me this morning here for the morning trade plan. If you guys have further questions, you guys want to join us in the MLT Discord where you get access to Perry, Rob, Jay, myself, the rest of the whole MLT team, then there's a link in the description below. You guys can click that link. It'll get you all the details. And I got to give a big shout out to Grind Hard Trading. He passed the $50,000 combine today and is getting himself funded. If you guys are not following me on social media, at Major League Trading on Instagram, posted up his story on that as well. So thank you guys so much. Huge shout out to him. Thank you guys. I will see you in just a few minutes. Have a great trading